Scott and Nguama in the centres, Holdsworth and Russell the halves, the forwards Ryan Powell, Henry Perenara, Tony Jensen, Brian Norrie, Michael Henderson, and the hooker Aaron Gorrell, Tangatoa, White, Payne and Wellington on the bench. They are the minor premiers in Premier League this year, as the Roosters were in Jersey Flegg. This is a battle of 1v2, and these two sides lost only 4 games each this year. This is the Roosters lineup: Kirk at fullback, Byrne and Lester on the wings, Smith and Soliola in the centres, Dawn and Ravelli the halves, the forwards Webb, the Payer brothers in the second row, Meredith and Hennant in the front row with Henderson, and the bench for the Roosters is Rose, Mercer, Bishop and Mudasela. Referee, like some of the players, has had a bit of first grade this year, Gavin Badger, and we're underway in grand final number 2 on this first Sunday in October. It is the Roosters against the Dragons. Dragons minor premiers, Roosters second. They finished level on points at the end of 26 rounds and have advanced without defeat through the final series. Henderson with the ball tackled on the 20. Gorrell, a good player, the dummy half for the Dragons. Sends them short side. Always good to have the white with the red V taking part in grand final day. He does add something to it. Here is Gorrell, infield with Norrie. Norrie from Yagowra out there, Forbes. At his first grade debut this year, the Dragons first possession. Kicking before halfway, their halfback Lachlan Russell. And fielded there by Aidan Kirk. He's the one in the red boots. And Kirk is wrapped up there front on by Jensen, 12 metres out from the line. Also on commentary for the Premier League Grand Final, Paul Harrigan.
Certainly is, and exciting Grand Final, the last one. Dragons just settling nice there, a good set of 6 to start with. Obviously, a bit of nerves. Both these teams very good, both very good in defensive department. Both finished on 43 points on the season general. A good start there by the Dragons.
And Henderson up with Mickey Payer. Mickey and Lapini, the brothers in the back row. They're the third of the brothers. Lalea, 18th man for this Premier League Grand Final. Still a proud day for the parents, the family from Minto. Have the boys in the decider. Kick downfield from Dawn. It's fielded here by David Howe. This is his last game today for the Dragons before he links up with Canberra and tackled on the 30. And a dummy half goes Greenshields. Good run, makes 15. And a ground in the tackle of Tyrone Smith, 5 metres inside their own half. This is Nguama. 49 metres away from the Roosters line. Gorrell a dummy half. Sides clashed twice this year, a win apiece. Dragons a win back in round 7. Roosters a win in round 19. Big changes in personnel since those clashes. Nice front on tackle there by Ravelli. The Roosters captain. Front on, and the high ball now from the halfback Russell. It'll come on the bounce to Aidan Kirk. And Kirk is wrapped up 10 metres out from his own line by Bo Scott.
The young fellow for the Roosters, Soliola, he's a real talented kid, and someone once said he's maybe a young Mal Meninga. He's quite a talented kid. He's a young guy that Mick Potter's done a real lot of work on during the week, so hopefully we can nullify him today.
That's the number 4 for the Roosters. Iosia Soliola, a junior Kiwi. Watch out for him. Meredith is with it here for the Roosters. Another good young player, this front rower, who has played 35 games this year. A number of weekends he doubled up with Flegg in Premier League. Working forward is Lapini Payer. 3 in the tackle. Gorrell and Henderson leading the drive there with Perenara. Last tackle here with the Roosters, and Dawn another kick under pressure from Jensen. On the bounce to Greenshields. Saw him make his debut, and a pretty impressive one this year in first grade. He ended up playing 3 games. Now from dummy half with Howe. He'll get it to halfway, almost through the tackle of Hennant. Got a penalty for inside the 10 here.
Both these coaches will be pretty happy. Mick Potter and Ivan Cleary for the Roosters. A real steady start there. Good try there from the winger to try and knock that back in. But no sign of nerves. They're doing their job. They're ticking over. The go forward is good. The play the balls are good as well.
Carried forward there by Norrie. Tackle 1, 9 metres from the line. St George Illawarra looking for a title here. It comes away for Henderson. He's 10 away from the line. Early pressure on the Roosters. Hennett and Payer in the tackle there. Gorrell for Russell. Turns it inside. Defence good. It was low down there by the hooker, Ian Henderson. Still on though for St George Illawarra. Just a metre away from the line, Gorrell called to play it. Back with Holdsworth. Inside pass there for Norrie. Norrie will go close, hit the upright, and is held up in goal.
This is going to be the last one. We're going to play it last.
Well, that's Brian Norrie. What about the strength of him? The front rower gets the ball, buries the head down early, very strong. He's a good player, a good style of a kid, a big build for a young bloke, and got a large future as well. Nearly scores a try for the Dragons.
Last tackle play with Holdsworth. His kick off the side of the boot. It's well and truly over the sideline on the full, and it will be a changeover, Roosters ball.
Changeover.
Just on David Howell, he was apparently out for the season, Dave Howell. On Wednesday night, he called in to Mick Potter and said, mate, I want to cut the plaster off and play. So it's a good positive start for him out there. His confidence is nice and high, and he's got plenty of experience as well.
He's replacing Nick Youngquist on the wing for the Dragons. And Roosters in possession outside their 30. Russell slow to clear there after the tackle on Paya. This is Todd Byrne, playing in the Premier League Grand Final this year. Henderson, he's up to halfway. Front on Naguama. And he will play. No scorers yet in this Premier League decider. Roosters, premiers in jersey flag. Dawn trying a high ball to the wing of Andrew Frew. That's a lovely take by Frew. It almost lost his bearings, but never took his eye off the ball. And the Dragons with the ball and a bit of breeze downstairs as well. Tim Gilbert sideline.
Yeah, it's a real swirling breeze, so those high kicks are always going to be affected by that. Mark Geyer, we've got the Premier League here, but what about the first-grade players? They'll be just leaving their hotel. How'd they be feeling? 3 hours from game time?
Yeah, about the 3 hour mark, Timmy. You start to get the nerves. They'll be probably arriving on a bus together now. It's not until you get to the actual ground that you start to realise the whole day, how big it is. Just on this game, young Norrie is a carbon copy lookalike for Jason Riles. Can play the game.
High ball here from Lachlan Russell. Burns coming in for it. Byrne makes the catch, and then it's hit hard by Perinara. Roosters back with the ball. Good play by two of the wingers now, Byrne and Frew. They've done very well. And now a drop ball from the Roosters. Right in front of their own sticks. It was the centre, Soliola.
Maybe I mocked him, Vossi.
Burns' take was great. And then the spin pass from Meredith out of dummy half, and Soliola with an error.
He's a good kid. He'll make up for that. He is a junior Kiwi, and as we were speaking before, got big raps on this boy. I think you'll see him play first grade. Maybe even next year is that good from what I hear, but he'll make up for that one.
Some nice signs for the Dragons. They've turned the ball up the middle 2 or 3 times. Young Norrie nearly scored, and Clint Greenshields nearly went through on a second occasion too, so hopefully they might have a little bit more success there.
That's what unfolds in this set. Holdsworth. And then to the right. Defence from Kirk is good. With a halfback Ravelli. Getting in hard there on Bo Scott. Dragons just 10 metres from the line. This time Meredith and Henderson. In a grapple match. In the tackle also there was Webb. Dragons 10 out. Russell along with Perinara. Perinara trying to stand on the tackle there at Dawn. 8 metres away from the line. Threatening to post first point St George Illawarra. Russell on the line with Holdsworth. Beautiful ball. Kept alive and intercept. Roosters back in possession. The pass from Powell. And now penalty to the Roosters with the ball stripped away.
We just see the pass here. Here he is again, Ryan Powell. Mark Guy mentioned before, he's pretty similar to Jason Riles there in stature, but he's had 2 important runs now. What he does is he hits a hole, fantastic. The right lines, the right angle, and very, very dangerous, close to the line. Good young player. He's focused. He's ready for a big game. He knows what's on board here.
These two teams also the 2 best defensive sides through 26 rounds in the Premier League. And the Dragons going into today had won their last 9 straight. The Roosters 7 straight going into the decider as Mickey Paya brings it almost back to halfway. Roosters will be happy to see the Dragons enter the field. Here's Ben Hannon, Queenslander in the forward pack for the Roosters. Henderson a dummy half, off to Parramatta next year. Luke Dawn offloading there with Lapini Paya. 40 metres away from the Dragons line. He was collected in the tackle of Henderson. Now working that short side with Tyrone Smith. To within 30 metres of the Dragons line. Ravelli, they look lively in this set. Ravelli is collected there by Powell. It is 22 metres from the line. Fourth tackle. Back with Luke Dawn. Going to put pressure again on Frew. Getting across his Greenshields. Ball beats the wall. In fact, Greenshields got to it on the full. And we'll come back to the 20. Special guest on the sideline right now with Tim Sheridan.
Yeah, thanks, Vossi. Well, most people know that Arthur Beetson captained the Roosters to their premierships in 74 and 75, but few might be aware of the role he plays now in building this Roosters club. Arthur, that under-20s team we just saw win the premiership, how many of those lads did you play a role in recruiting?
Oh, look, I don't count numbers, but I'm just part of the recruitment team here. Obviously, we've got our scouts out there. We've got a recruiting system, and a lot of credit should go to our scouts also, but Ricky also does a bit of recruiting there. But it's not hard really to sell our club when you have a coach like Ricky Stewart, and I think that's part of it. It's very competitive out there because everyone's after the same kids, but often it gets down to the head coach and the opportunities that you can present to these kids that seals the deal.
Yeah, well, we did some research, and it was roughly 10 of the 17 that just won the premiership that you played a role in, so that's pretty impressive. One question to ask you, is it your eye for talent or is it the network?
Well, I think it's a network a fair bit too, because you know, I have blokes like Troy O'Reilly, Mick McDonald, Gary Bishop and Murray Stanton who are down there. And of course, Neil Bishop was up in Redcliffe in Queensland, which we're tied to, the club that we're tied to. But overall, I think, you know, we have people like Johnny Cartwright, and as I said, Gus Gill. Everyone has an input there, but at the end of the day, it's not a hard club to sell when you have a bloke like Ricky Stewart there and the success that we're having at the moment. And believe it or not, we actually fluke a lot of kids too.
What sort of a thrill does it give you to see 3 teams in the grand final today?
It's enormous for our club, and you know, I'm only happy because people, you know, right from the top, from Nick Politis, they work really hard to make sure that our club is a success, and people have to understand that we don't have a great junior rugby league, so we do have to recruit, and we're very active out there.
Okay, Arthur, well, I hope you have a great day, mate. Thanks, and we'll go back to Vossi.
Here's Hennett for the Roosters. Thank you, Arthur Beetson, one of the game's immortals. And a big day for the Roosters. Last tackle, almost coming unstuck for Dawn. Gets a very high kick up. Greenshields is across there. It's knocked forward by the Roosters.
Take it dead by Roosters.
The front rower got there first. It was George Rose who almost came up with the ball. Look at the number 8, Chief. He's there with Webb. It's almost a mix-up between the two Roosters.
He's everywhere, the front rower. He's having a great game, but a high bomb, that's exactly what the Roosters have got to do. Keep the pressure on, and that's tough for the fullback.
Rose and Webb, they got there first. Dragons survive. They're with it 40 metres out from their own line. Norrell down the short side for Powell.
The Roosters had a really well-constructed set there. They targeted the Dragons' left side and probably made them make 3 efforts, and it was good defence by Henry Perenara in the end, which held them out. And then the nice high kick, which they've done 3 times now on young Green. And if the Dragons don't get a few more people in the picture, the ball may bounce the Roosters' way, so they'll need to work on that.
Well, that's a pretty silly penalty there. Jensen taking the ball up. Got it reefed out. You'll see it pretty clearly. There's the hand. Thank you. Gives the Dragons in a good position now. They're about 45 out. They'll take the kick.
An arm getting in the play there was Lapini Payers. Dragons 25 metres out from the line. And Holdsworth passing now for Henderson. He's 15 metres away. Pressure back on the Roosters. Minor Premiers in possession. Norrie, good offload for Holdsworth. There is Perenara. Away from Dawn, he's lost the ball. We will break on grand final day. No score in the Premier League decider.
Same way, mate. Make sure we point it in here. Wait for me, Luke. Wait, Luke. Wait, Luke. Get in, fellas. Wait. You. Lock spine. In we go, Luke.
Great to be with you on Grand Final Day 2004 here at Telstra Stadium, live on Channel 9, live and exclusive. At the moment watching what unfolds in the Premier League Grand Final. Roosters and the Dragons, the top 2 sides, as will be the case in first grade tonight. Soliola's away, 35 metres from the Dragons line, and still going. Decided to pass, pushed it just one too far.
Well, he's showing a bit what we all expected. A wonderful pass here at the end. He showed great athleticism, but that little jink, that little inner way that these young players today, they all seem to possess. A nice turn of pace there, shifts the ball into the left arm. But look at it here, he gets up and tries to get a ball away. Very athletic, that big left hand raking around. Didn't quite get it to Leicester. And unfortunately, they'll pack the scrum down.
Dragons scrum feed. 25 out from their own line. St George Illawarra's last title, in fact their only title as the joint venture club, was 2001 in this grade. And it was first division. Side coached by Brian Johnson, former grand final fullback. Today coached by another former grand final fullback in Mick Potter. With the ball 31 out. And another chance for you tonight to win $5,000. How good would that be on grand final night? Courtesy of VB, our man of the match competition. Just correctly pick who will win the Australian Test Selectors vote for the Clive Churchill Medal tonight. And SMS text your answer to 1889926. Entries will close at 8:30 tonight. And the winner to be announced at the end of our broadcast. $5,000 thanks to VB.
I think that was big Michael Henderson, who's had a wonderful game so far, drops that ball. We saw in the Juicy Flick earlier too, some of the big hits, the ball is slippery. It is tough conditions out there. The grass is even a little bit slippery as well. Had a lot of rain here the last couple of days. The sunshine is drawing out the moisture. Here's another break.
Soliola on the outside of his man. Ball for Ravelli. Ravelli keeps it alive. Leicester scores in the corner. Superb try. Started by Soliola. Followed up by Ravelli. And Leicester, the veteran of this side, scores the 4-pointer.
Well, that left-hand edge here of the Roosters is lethal. This kid is dead set got fantastic, Pete. Back inside there to Ravelli, a nice pass, and Gavin Leicester is an experienced player. He's been with the Bulldogs, he's been here, he's played plenty of first grade, and that's what it's all about.
Let's break here at Telstra, 4-0 to the Roosters. Welcome back from the break. What a try before it by that man on screen, Gavin Leicester. As a member of the Bulldogs grand final side in 98, this bloke Soliola, he's got the moves. He left the defence behind and then the pass for Ravelli. Now he sized it up beautifully. The Roosters halfback and captain, and Leicester in position to finish off in the corner in a 4-0 lead for his team.
Absolutely, I think that was Bo Scott. There's the kick, unsuccessful. Bo Scott there for the Dragons. Unfortunately, he got the web weaved by Soliola. He's a great player, great sidestepping. There it is again.
And it come off the back of a forced error by the Roosters. They're well known for their aggressive defence, and I'm sure their coach will be very happy with the way the game's going. I think they're playing a little bit more positive football than the Dragons. The Dragons are probably playing maybe a bit one pass, one out, and the Roosters prepared to promote the ball a touch more, which has paid the dividends just there.
So Soliola has been tagged the web weaver by the Chief. And the Dragons get us into the next passage of play. Luke Dawn is the first choice goal kicker today. None from one and a 4-0 scoreline. Mickey Payer back for the Roosters almost to the 20. All three brothers signed up long term with the Roosters. P1, P2 and P3. Mickey, Lapini and Lalea. And the Roosters on their 20. Nice defence front on there by Perinara. Another one off to Parramatta next year. This is Mickey Payer. Back to the 30. Perinara off to Parramatta with his brother Marcus from the Warriors. Now George Rosa hit up to the 40. Met there by Brian Norrie. Henderson from dummy half. It is with Payer. And they're on halfway. Last tackle is called by referee Badger. Kick will come from Luke Dawn. He goes for the short kick. It bounces up beautifully for Byrne. Then back inside for Smith. Another try. Beautifully constructed. Tyrone Smith has scored it. Roosters on a roll and leading by 8 points to 0.
Well, you pick which edge is the most dangerous. They're both fantastic. Tyrone Smith, a great try on the inside, comes from the kick. You'll see it here. He puts it through. All kickers onside. I've got to say, He was very close there, Todd Burner being onside, but again, plenty of experience. He was playing in the big one last year for the Roosters. And there's Tyrone Smith going under, tries to advantage the position of the kicker, and that's a nice lead.
Yeah, it's a good lead, Chief. Unfortunately for the Dragons, but it was clever football by Luke Dawn. He played down the short side on the last play, brought the winger up, and then grasped the ball in behind. And when the kick's good and you carry the ball to the line just far enough, it's very hard to defend. And unfortunately for the Dragons, we're going to be down 10 block, but I'm sure we can hang in there and fight back. We just need a bit of luck to go our way.
Well, Brandy, you're obviously very close to the Mick Potter. It's around about the 20-minute mark now, looking at the second try down. What's he thinking? What's the messages he's getting out to the team?
I think if we just get them to just remain positive and calm. They've been in this situation before against the Roosters and come back and won. But I think they could just be a little bit more positive with the football, maybe get a little bit more ball movement. I think I mentioned before, the Roosters are definitely playing a touch more positive than the Dragons, they're getting the benefits. But, you know, they need a big defensive set here, maybe force an error, get some field position and use the ball a touch more.
Dawn successful with a kick and a 10-0 scoreline after 20. Let's go down to the sideline. A proud man, a proud coach with Tim Sheridan.
Yeah, the day's first premiership winning coach, Vossi. Shane Flanagan's just taken the Roosters flag team to their premiership, and he's also actually just removed his heart from his mouth, I guess.
Exactly. You know, I knew it was going to be a tough game and I knew it was going to be close, but it was a bit too close for my liking.
Yeah, down 12-0, a bit of a hole there, and in the end, won it so close. That alone's got to make you feel great.
Yeah, and the character of the boys showed through because, you know, we haven't been behind all year, especially by 12 points. You know, we might have been behind 6 at the start of a game, but never been behind at half-time, never been behind at closing end of a game. You know, so they showed great character to hang in there.
Well, Shane, 1 down, 2 to go, mate. Congratulations. Well done.
Yeah, we're off to a good start here too, so let's hope.
Okay, mate. Thanks. Back to you, Vossi.
Yeah, outstanding achievement, Shane Flanagan, coach of the Roosters. 27 from 27. They won this year. First team since the Dragons are 59 to go through a year unbeaten. Marvellous achievement. Here's Lapini Paya for the Roosters. They were the minor premiers, the Roosters in Jersey Fleet. The Dragons were minor premiers in this level, in the Premier League. They find themselves down by 10 early. Here's Dawn, man who constructed the last try on the bounce there for Green Shields. Held up 20 out from his own line.
It wasn't a fantastic kick, that last one there, but what you're seeing now, the Roosters, the play the balls are coming a little bit quicker, a little bit easier to go forward. The Dragons really need to concentrate now on that play the ball, and there's the mistake. Could that be the one?
And that's the type of stuff that the Roosters are sweating on. Back of the field, play 2, play 3, get 3 in the tackle, force an error, and then look to build pressure off the back of it.
David Howe lost control of the ball, like his own teammate knocked it out. He's dirty on himself. 20 metres out from the line. Roosters.
Big set, this one.
Is it what? They could be staring down the barrel of a third straight try. Here's Kirk across field. Good tackle from Scott. 32 metres from their line. The Roosters in possession. This is George Rose, former Bathurst Penguin. 25 metres from the line. Soliola. He's shown us some good stepping. 15 metres away from the line. Roosters with a man down at the moment. Henderson dumps it off there for Paya. 15 away. There are 2 in the tackle. They can't prevent the offload. Henderson looking for someone to run it. And it's the man with his hand up. Taken low down in the tackle of Holdsworth. 12 away in front of the post. They lead by 10. Ravelli kicks. He's got it to the end goal and it's battered dead by the Dragons.
No, it was accidental. He tripped over his feet.
Line drop out. Man down for the Roosters all the while has been Gavin Lester.
Ravelli, great little kick through here. Keeps the pressure on for the Roosters. They'll get the ball back from the drop kick. And look, the last 5 minutes they really have been on top. Good work there from the winger to knock it over. But again, another big challenge for the Dragons. They've got a great defensive record. They can do this, but a crucial part of the game for them right now.
There's a bit of movement on the Dragons bench. We've got Wade Humphries and Aaron Wheatley. Wade Humphries has been outstanding in the last 8 to 10 weeks for the Dragons. He's turned plenty of games for us, so good coach by Mick Potter. I'm sure he's going to be looking for a nice bit of impact from him.
Ball back, it was a deep line dropout. Mickey Paya is with it for the Roosters. Good result from a line dropout. 40 metres away from the Dragons line. A short side play. They've had a bit of success down that left side as they look for Soliola in the centres. It was Webb who was tackled. 25 metres from the line. Now back with George Rose. He gets inside that 20. Dragons under the pump here. Henderson from dummy half. Went through the turnstiles just about to within a metre of the line. Dummy half is Webb. Back with Paya. Kept alive. And with Dawn off for Ravelli. Dawn 8 metres away from the line in the Russell tackle. Last play here. Boom. Kick from Ravelli. What hands? 5 metres out from the line from Tangatatoa.
Yeah, sensational. It's David Tangatatoa. He's from the Gold Coast. His brother Andrew Tangatatoa played with Newcastle Knights a couple of years ago. He's got great feet and great hands. And just saw there. And that's a nice relieving penalty. That's what they want, the Dragons. And a big set of 6 here. Just relax into the normal go-forward set and really build from here.
Once again there, Chief, the Roosters this time was on at the Dragons' right edge. They tripled up on the one edge and they nearly got a tight defender in Tony Jensen. So they're really testing out our edges with 2 and 3 back-to-back efforts before they shift the ball. It can be very hard to defend.
Aaron Wheatley now out there in 21 for the Dragons. Tangatatoa with the ball. Taken there by Rose. They're 5 inside their own half, the Dragons. Had early chances in this match, but not for a while have they been down the Roosters' end. Holdsworth kickers got them to the goal line. Aidan Kirk with the ball. Chase led here by Ryan Powell. Runs at an angle, runs towards Wheatley, went straight past Wheatley. Wrapped up 15 metres out from his own line. Outside there, 20. Henderson on the spin for Todd Byrne. Todd Byrne over the 30. Gavin Badger had a little problem there on the last play. Got a bump there from Holdsworth. Big hit on Badger, who was knocked down by Carl Webb on his first grade debut this year. Like a magnet. Now the ball comes back. Webb kept alive. Soliola for Ravelli. Defence from Scott. Henderson, 40 away. Back for Dawn. Plenty of pressure on him. Got away from 2. Then looked to kick and had an air swing. Took the 6-iron out and missed the ball. 30 metres out from their own line. The Dragons are back in possession. Roosters leading by 10. Plenty of movement on the bench for the Dragons. With Wade Humphries and Corey Payne. 39 from their line. And Humphries straight in for a first touch. Followed there by Wheatley. Goes back to halfway. He was taken front on by Henderson. This is Lachlan Russell. Inside ball there for Perinara. Perinara lifted in the tackle by Paya. They're away with green shields. 30 from the line. Dragons build up here. On the bounce there to Nguama. Nguama with a fend. Got away from Smith. 19 from the line. Last tackle here for the Dragons. Russell. Holdsworth. 15 out. They're going to run it. On the bounce for Frew. Back infield. He got past one. Frew for the corner. He's there. Dragons have their first try. And great finishing by Andrew Frew.
Andrew Frew, he's one of the more experienced players. He's been to plenty of clubs, went to England last year, and he's had a big input here. They've had a go. They've had a go here. Threw a long ball, didn't quite come off, but his timing was good enough for that ball to bounce and still be in position, and he scored an important try.
Let's break before the conversion. 10-4 to the Roosters.
Roosters down now 10-4. St. George in the war with the kick to kick out.
Live and exclusive on Channel 9's Wide World of Sports Grand Final Day. And in the Premier League, Dragons have their first try and a 10-4 scoreline. And Wes Nguama looking to get the margin back to 4. Roosters already winners in jersey flag. From the sideline, Nguama. He's got it online for the upright, just shaves it to the right. So we are left at 10-4 after 29 minutes.
Nguama doesn't look like a fantastic athlete and one for the future, but Nathan Brown was saying before that the Dragons are probably a little bit reserved. They didn't chance their hand too much, been a bit conservative, maybe a little bit nervous, but finally they chance their hand towards the back end of the set of 6 and they get rewards. This guy's an experienced player, as I said before. He's been overseas, he's done a lot, and be very valuable for the Dragons.
Yeah, the ball movement's it's very successful, even in the top level in the first grade. I think you'll see the side that moves the ball around with the side that'll get the victory there too. And the Roosters were definitely more positive than the Dragons earlier, and now the Dragons have chance their hand and got a nice result from it.
Oh, great hit on Corey Payne. It came loose and back for Scott. He's lost the ball.
We'll play
The first hit is a
Roosters
beauty
went down.
on Corey Payne, his
Second
first
one.
touch of the football.
Second one, Dragons.
There's
Dragons.
plenty of whack in this tackle. It'll be Webb front on. Bang! With Soliola. He loses the ball back. That's a good shot too. Battering rams. Head down.
Thanks for coming. Grand finals are tough, and like you say, first couple of minutes straight on, boom, head clash.
And it's two young tough kids. Stewie Webb's a tough kid, and young Corey Payne's a kid from Canterbury. They were recruited last year, and he's a talented young kid too, so I'm sure it won't make him take a backward step.
Dragons with the ball on their 20. Tim Sheridan out and about on the sideline with another special guest. Shero.
Yeah, Vossi, they say great moments win grand finals, and isn't it a buzz to sit here with Scotty Sattler just near that 30-metre line, exactly a year on from when Todd Byrne crossed it on his way perhaps for a try for the Roosters, and Scotty Sattler mowed him down. And of course Todd's out there on the paddock, and you're here remembering last year. Scotty must bring back a lot of great memories.
Yeah, it does, Tim. I suppose you have certain fields that you hold a lot of good feelings about, and obviously this is one that holds good feelings of a lot of Penrith players from last year.
Yep. I guess they say, as we said, great moments win grand finals. Are you pretty content, I guess, to have that one define you into your retirement?
Oh yeah, I suppose. Even if it didn't eventuate, I'd still be happy with what I achieved in the game. Only the little bit that I did, but yeah, to finish up late in your career with something like that, yeah, it's pretty pleasing to look back on now and then.
The feeling of playing in the big one, Scotty, is still very familiar for you. Tonight, these two great teams will go in. They've circled each other for a couple of years now. Who are you picking, Roosters or the Dogs?
I've sort of changed my mind every hour, Timmy, but I'm going to go for the Roosters, mainly just due to the fact I believe in fairy tales, and I think Freddie will just be the fitting fairy tale for him.
You're here with your dad too. Of course, John won 4 titles, played in 6. Must be a buzz.
Yeah, it is. Just hold it there, Scott, as the Dragons counter-attack. When Green Shields has come up with the ball. The chasers coming from everywhere. Cut down in the tackle by Byrne. There's going to be sin in their ears.
Wait.
In fact, it's Gavin Lester who is sin bin. He's off to the bin for 10.
Just get the ball, stay away.
Outstanding cover defence.
What's them there? What's
On
them
a
there?
fullback.
And still plenty of feeling there.
Yeah, I got it.
The tap will come 10 metres out from the line.
Waiting.
10 points to
Take
4
it there.
scoreline. Roosters down a man. And waiting for the restart from Wade Humphries. We have it now with Tangata-Toa. Hannett goes up top. He almost lost the ball as he was looking for the quick play the ball. With Holdsworth. There for Wheatley. Wheatley spun away from the tackle there of Metasella. 5 metres from the line. Humphries again. This time Lachlan Russell. He runs at Hannett. And Hannett makes a good tackle low. Still 5 metres out. Humphries, Holdsworth. Holdsworth is tackled a metre from the line. And he's going to lose the ball. There's a penalty against the Dragons this time.
Disappointing set there by the Dragons. Had a real good chance to capitalise on 12 men and come up with an unforced error, which will really disappoint Mick Potter.
Well, still on the sideline, Tim Sheridan with Scott Sattler. I was going to say, Shero, you might put the restraints on Scotty Sattler as we saw this breakdown field. Todd Byrne was getting across in cover with Gavin Lester, but I don't want Scott to suddenly dash out there and cut down Todd Byrne if he makes a break.
No, mate, it was a very Scotty Sattler type tackle to pull that move up. I was just going to ask you, Scott, you're here with your dad, who played in so many grand finals. It must be fabulous to come here as a grand final winner yourself and share that sort of thrill.
Yeah, it is. I suppose it's something to talk around the dinner table with him. But yeah, it's good to be here together. Obviously, got a big moment tonight with the NRL moments, and it's something that's take a lot of pride in being next to him when we do that tonight.
Okay, mate. Well, enjoy that. Enjoy the day, and we'll see if your tip of the Roosters comes up.
Thank you very much, Timmy.
Okay, mate. Back to you, Bossy.
And enjoy retirement, Scotty Sattler. Completed his duties with the West Tigers this year. Won their Best Defensive Player of the Year award on Friday at their grand final lunch. Roosters with the ball here in Premier League. 40 metres out. Going the short side with Webb. Through a nice short pass for Soliola, one of the danger men. He's proven that. Ravelli rushed to kick. Green Shields has had a lot of work to do. And a lot of it he's done very well. 5 metres out from his own line. It is a big, big day on Channel 9. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Been a bit of drama already. Grand final preview to follow this Premier League decider. The pre-game entertainment from 6:30 tonight. And then the big one. The Roosters against the Bulldogs. The heavyweights face off to decide the 2004 Premiership. With the ball, this is Perinara. Nice offload, it's off the legs, that's play on for Russell. He's with it 5 metres inside his own half, now he's lost it. We play on for the Roosters. They come up with the ball 5 metres inside the St George Illawarra half, played by Paya, Henderson. 41 metres away from the line. Meredith is ready to come back into the game. A little sit on the bench. And George Rose is the player who's gone to the bench for the Roosters. This is Tyrone Smith, one of their try scorers. 21 metres from that Dragons line. Ravelli. Back with Dawn. He was hit hard there by Holdsworth. Ball came loose and covered up by Soliola.
Nice aggressive defence there by DJ Holdsworth, and you get the rewards from those sort of things as well.
They're now 10 metres out and the tackle count has restarted. Badger just waited to make his decision on the run from Meredith. Inside it comes with Metusela. He stretched out, he scored. Metusela has stretched out to score the Roosters' third try. 14 points to 4. Plenty of determination in this run. First of all, the run by Steve Meredith, Nathan Brown, was stripped out there by Beau Scott and play on. Referee Gavin Badger got it right. Good pick up too from the front rower. But then the follow-up by Metusela, all determination to get to the line.
Yeah, it was nice play by Steve Meredith, and unfortunate for the Dragons from the rake. They did get 6 to go, which is a good decision by the referee. And as the Roosters do in first grade very well off Brett Finch, they can fade back and pick on loose A defenders or markers that get tired or over chase, and they really keep testing you. They've moved the ball around to touch the Roosters. They've stayed in areas and doubled up and tripled up, then shifted the ball a touch at the back of the field to Soliola, and now they may think the Dragons are getting a touch tight and may try to play through the middle with little plays like that.
And they have scored it while they are reduced to 12 men, with Gavin Lester in the sin bin. Metusela, it was more a roll to get it to the goal line.
And I think for the Roosters, I think with 12 men, the Dragons maybe having a bit of a poor attacking set, they get some confidence out of holding the Dragons out with 12, and then to score on the back of it will probably give them a real lot of confidence.
We're told that the try scorer is off to the Melbourne Storm next year, to Vita Metusela. That comes with success in the lower grades. The Roosters are finding out their flag and their Premier League side. You can't keep them all.
He's been a nightmare for me, Tavita. I think he scored a try in the Fleck Grand Final and they beat us out here a couple of years ago. He's a talented young guy who's very, very powerful, and I'm sure he'll have a successful career down there at the Storm.
Like an elephant. Nathan Brown, Luke Dawn gets the kick. 16-4, Tim Gilbert, sideline.
One guy breathing a sigh of relief is that man, Gavin Lester. 3 minutes to go in the sin bin. He would have been very happy when he saw that Roosters try. One thing about the temperature, it is almost dropped. It'd be about 20 degrees, 19 degrees, so you'd say that tonight it's going to be perfect for first grade. One thing to Mark Geyer, this side here, this Rooster side, how much confidence would they take out of the win they watched beforehand?
Yeah, I think a lot. I think also it's what I'm starting to pick up from the crowd is it's like a Roosters home game. And I think with the 3 grades being here in the one day, it's a great event for these blokes, and these Roosters reserve grade players are playing accordingly.
So from the kick off, the Roosters in possession. Henderson, the dummy half, with the appeal to the referee for the quick play of the ball. Webb making some more hard meters. He was lifted there by Perinara. On their 20, inside the final 2 of this first half, the Premier League Grand Final. And that is Meredith. Back up to the 30. Roosters still down to 12. Lalea Paya on the ground. Into the 40-metre line. Todd Byrne. Down the side and cut down by Howe. 35 metres from the St George Illawarra line. Luke Dawn. Well trapped there by Nguama. Nguama has the ball 29 metres out from his own line. Dawn has copped some big hits after kicking today. He's a little the worse for wear right at the moment. Good screen there, the former Eagle. great for the Roosters this year.
I still really think the Dragons, Vossi, can get a bit of ball movement. They've only got 12 men at the moment, the Roosters. And there's Wade Humphries getting at a dummy half, but off the back of it, you'd like to see 7 or 6 get in, get some ball to the centres and see what they can come up with on the edge of the ruck.
Green Shields, good run. Bumped away from Paya and almost stayed alive in the attempted tackle of Smith. Last tackle, Holdsworth, bomb from 29 metres out. Now Soliola's out on the wing with Leicester off the field. Soliola hasn't been able to handle. Touch judge's call here. He says it's off the Rooster. It'll be a Dragon scrum feed. There's 25 seconds remaining in this first half. And now it is time off. So 16 points to 4. And the Dragons will get just a couple more plays before half time. A little slow to stop the clock at the ground. They're being tapped forward there by Andrew Frew and then on to Soliola. Could be a tough one against the Roosters. Now Henderson's got a little cut under the chin. Nice to see Hooker smiling there, and Gorrell, the hooker for the Dragons. So big play coming up. 16-4.
Get your heads in, get your heads in.
Now time is blown back on. 15 out. Dragons desperate for points. Nguama, 15 away from the line. Puts a bit of footwork on. Where's Nguama has scored for the Dragons in the final seconds of the first half. We're seeing some very classy centres on show. Soliola for the Roosters, Nguama for the Dragons.
Yeah, he's a talented young kid, Wes Nguama. He's had a real bad run with injury the past 18 months. It's the first time he's really strung a dozen or so games together, and next year we've really got some big hope for him to be a first grader, and to go with it, he's a wonderful goal kicker as well. But once again, it was when the Dragons actually moved the ball and got the ball to their centres, so they caused some problems. So, you know, I'd imagine the Dragons will come out in the second half and maybe play a touch more positive. I think they'll get a lot of benefit out of it.
Where are you going to fit them all? You got Cooper, you got Gaznia, State of Origin setters, and you got this bloke Nguama.
Yeah, well, hopefully Wes is also a natural winger, so he can play on the wing as well. And being a goal kicker gives him the added advantage with us losing Mark Riddell, obviously. But when Origin time comes around, I'm sure that Gaz and Coops, if they're fit, definitely at least one of them will be in. So at some stage next year, with a bit of luck with injuries, I'm sure he'll definitely play some first grade Wes Nguama. And he's one of those players that the crowd love to like because he scores plenty of tries and kicks goals. So they all like those type of people.
And you saw the reaction of Gavin Lester in the dressing room, still in the bin. Nguama to convert his own try. Right on half-time, he sprays it wide. Left with a scoreline of 16-8, half-time in the Premier League. Other side of the break, Paul Harrigan and Matty Johns will be on the field to bring us the Kellogg's Nutrigrain Fittest to the Finals competition. That's up next as NRL Grand Final Day continues on Nine's Wide World of Sport. It is a fine afternoon for Grand Final Day. Forecast of a fine night, which is good for the Roosters and the Bulldogs later. All the entertainment from 6:30 tonight. As the Roosters return for the second half here in Premier League. 8-point lead. They won the Jersey Flegg in extra time. 14 points to 13 over the Sharks. Last side to win all three grades was the Dragons in 1963. So on target at the moment. What an achievement it would be in this modern day of player drafts and salary caps, or not player drafts, but the salary cap. In this Rooster side, they would have been a lot happier had they not conceded a try right on half-time to Wes Nguama. 12-point lead was reduced to 8. The Dragons return, minor premiers, these two sides. Finished 26 rounds, level on 43 points. Dragons, courtesy of a superior for and against, claim the minor premiership. And they advanced from week 1, had week 2 off, and then won last weekend, the two teams. Roosters over Manly and Dragons over the Raiders in a tight one. 18 points to 14. Coached by Mick Potter, Roosters by Ivan Cleary, and ready for the second half. Second match of the day. Gavin Lester to return from the sin bin shortly. Just Meredith takes the first hit up of the half. Met by Perinara and Russell. This is in a dummy half. Way through Paya and kept going from Ravelli. With the ball is Webb. Lester is back from the sin bin. Running down the touchline. Trying a piece while he was off the ground. And Roosters in possession, 30 away from their own line. It is Henderson who will play it. Webb in a dummy half. Inside with Paya. He's to the 40. Webb would have had a start tonight had Flannery been out in first grade, but miraculous recovery from Chris Flannery, having undergone surgery on Tuesday. He's back to play tonight, and Webb is left in Premier League. As Ravelli kicks. And the other news that we take from this match, Peter Cusack, he's the player into the 17 for the Roosters. Driving defence here from the Sydney club on David Howe. It was Dawn and Smith. Dragons with it. And a good run, Nguama gets over the 20. Tackle 28 out from his own line. All followed up, and Tangata with a juggle, kept alive there for Payne. Alive now for the Roosters.
That's not a real good start for the Dragons there. Off the back of Wes Nguama, been nice just to punch the ball forward, get off to a nice kick, because they need to really get some momentum and build some pressure. Roosters up 16-8. I don't think Mick Potter will be too up with the start.
20 out from the line. Henderson swings them to the right. That is Mickey Paya. 15 from the try line. All three Payas are out there for the Roosters. Dumped inside there from Ravelli for Lalea Paya. Front on that time it was Perinara. 8 metres from the line. Roosters leading by 16 points to 8. 3 tries to 2. Here's Metasella. Got one of the tries in the first half. Held up by Payne. Right in front of the posts. Last tackle, Ravelli. Ricochet on the kick. They try to take it on the boot again, but the Dragons come up with the ball. It's Bo Scott with it. 8 metres out from his own lines. George Illawarra. This time it's Tangata. Front on with Meredith. Let's find out what was said at half-time. Tim Gilbert sideline.
Well, I'm with Brett Thurman, the injured St George halfback. Brett, disappointing not to play this one, but what do the Dragons need to do to win in the second half?
I just think they need to stick to their game plan, just keep working hard, and hopefully things will come out good for them.
How hard is it not to be playing?
Yeah, it's disappointing. Like only one game to go, and unfortunately had to miss out through an injury. But yeah, it's just not the way. But the boys are going good, so hopefully they can keep going.
Is it a funny feeling you're going to the Roosters next year?
Yeah, no, I'm still going for the Dragons today.
Who's going to win tonight in the big one?
Mate, I hope the Roosters win that one, but it's going to be a very tough one. So I'd toss of a coin.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, mate.
Brett Furman, one of the stars of last season, almost Rookie of the Year, and then a broken leg this year in Premier League. And as Tim mentioned, off to the Roosters next season. And the Roosters are in possession, 5 short of halfway. Seller ready for another run. Numbers forward for another 10. He's 45 metres away from the line. It was Perinara getting through a mountain of defensive work. Ravelli inside with Paya. That time it was Wheatley getting there first with Ryan Powell. Last tackle for the Roosters. They're 39 metres from the line. Luke Dawn, opportunity to run. That's what they do with Smith. He keeps it alive, loose on the ground. And Nguama is with it for the Dragons. Byrne there to wrap him up. This is Perinara. And again, Byrne is involved in the tackle.
Already you see the Roosters brought out probably 3 or 4 shots at the Dragons just by moving the ball about, and I still really think the Dragons get a little bit more ball movement, a little bit more positive, and I think we get some real benefit out of it.
Tangata playing it, 41 from the line. This is Holdsworth. His pass inside. It's offload. It's on the fingertips. Been knocked forward by the halfback for the Roosters, Ravelli. Knock on both ways. Let's break. Grand final day here at Telstra, 16-8. Premier League Grand Final here on Channel 9, live from Telstra Stadium. And it is the Roosters up over the Dragons, 16 points to 8. No change to that half-time score. Meredith, another 5 metres. Taken by Humphreys and Wheatley. Short side the Roosters go. Good hands by Dawn, not followed up though by Webb. Dragons come up with the ball. Tangata is with it. And Meredith around his legs. 10 inside their own half. And now for Wheatley to get back to halfway. Here's some news for you Bulldogs supporters. The Bulldogs have arrived at the ground. They're ready to go. Payne is ready to go for St George Illawarra. He's 15 metres out from the line. Nguama, Russell, along with Holdsworth. Then it comes out wide. Back infield comes through. He's just a metre short of the line. They trail by 8 points. Holdsworth put down by Wheatley. And a knock on against the Dragons.
Well, unfortunate there. Dragons building up a bit of pressure. You know, after half-time, we get 16 points to 8. They really need to score again to make sure they're right in this game. The Roosters get a try up. It's going to make it very tough for them. That try before half-time was crucial. I'm sure Mick Potter really laid down the law.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are in their dressing room now. They've arrived at the ground, playing in their first grand final since 1998. For many of them, their first ever grand final. A handful with experience of the big day. Roosters not far off arriving. Here's Meredith. Taking the ground there by Tangata. Quite a struggle now at the moment in this Premier League grand final. Mickey Paya. 2 metres away from their own line. Webb a dummy half. Now on a gallop, taken across field there by Ryan Powell. Will play it short of the 30-metre line. Meredith in a dummy half for Lalea Paya. He made his first grade debut last year. He plays it on the 40-metre line. Ravelli, Dawn kicks from just outside the 40. He's got plenty of distance. A little too much width though. It's out on the full. And it's anguish for Luke Dawn. Puts a little bit of pressure back on his own team. Didn't strike it at all well.
It was a really nice defensive set by the Dragons. They held the Roosters within their 40, then got a little bit of kick pressure on, and now they've got some nice field position, so it'd be really good to, whether they score or not, but just to get a repeat set, if not a try.
So George Illawarra, 31 metres away from the Roosters line. Lachlan Russell. Tackled 25 metres out. In defence there was Mickey Paya. Scooped up now down the short side. Quick hands by Holdsworth. Back inside. Kept alive on the bounce to Humphreys. Play on the call. Payne has tackled 15 away from the Roosters line. Humphreys at a dummy half. Inside with Scott. Kept alive for Ryan Powell. And Ravelli is there with Hennett. A few of his mates in Meredith and Kirk. 5 from the line. Gorrell, first receiver. Put down by the Dragons. Roosters back in possession. Kirk runs downfield. And tackled short of the 30-metre line. Roosters, they get a roll on of their own in 2 tackles. They're back to the 40. Big run, this one from Leicester. Over halfway. Dawn from dummy half. Soliola kept alive. Todd Byrne through the centre. Dragons are ragged. They're on the ropes at the moment. With the Roosters charging forward. Ravelli off the ground, a man offside. No. It's almost a sin bin offence. It was offside a mile.
There's a few Dragons with their hands on their heads and on their hips at the moment. They need to really lift. But once again, they had a nice bit of field position. They never got to a kick. All they needed to do was, whether they scored or not, was just to get a repeat set and try and build some pressure. Now all the momentum's going the Roosters' way again.
Yeah, both these teams showing a little bit of inexperience. They're trying to build pressure, but it's these mistakes late in the sets of 6, and they're both attacking the line. But Roosters really showed with this break there that, look, they can come from anywhere. They made 80 metres in a set of 6. They really are looking lethal. But it's time to build pressure. It's time to hang on the ball and build. You see here another mistake coming up.
We also saw Payne, who collected the intercept. He tried a little trip on Ben Hannant. I'm with Ben Hannant. Sin bin for Corey Payne there.
Oh, I can't go with you there, Bossy.
He tried to trip him. And then he caught the pass. It's 15 out from the line. He knew his side was on the rack. Luke Dawn has the kick. This is 15 out to put his side in front by 10. Roosters already with a Jersey Flag trophy in the bag. Dawn is successful with a kick. Grand final day on Channel 9. 18-8 in the Premier League decider. On Channel 9, good to be with you. We trust that you will stay with us all the way through the night as we count down to the grand final in first grade, the Premier League. Roosters up by 10. 11 into the second half. Let's go down to the sideline. Tim Sheridan with one of the retiring players from season 2004. Just hold the phone just for a moment. As Medusela got back to halfway. Leicester in a dummy half. Here is Ravelli. Offloads there for Hannon. We'll just wait until the end of the set. As Webb passes up, Ravelli on with Dawn. This Dragons defence is in all sorts of trouble now. 28 metres out from the line. Roosters, last tackle. High kick coming down to the wing of Andrew Frew. Frew doesn't get to it. It comes back for Leicester. The Roosters have got another try. That is their fourth. It's the second for Gavin Leicester. It's proving to be a big day for the red, white and blue.
Well, Gavin Leicester on the spot again. And these Roosters, they're showing how mentally tough they are. They just keep grinding away. The kick goes up. It's knocked back there. Gavin Leicester, he's a real good positional player. Like, he's been around for a long time, as I said before, but he's always on the spot for the kicks. He's never over the mark. You see the contesting here. Up they go. That's fine. That's knocked back. And there he is, right on the spot.
Yeah, luck and hard work sort of go hand in hand, you know, and at the moment the Roosters are definitely running that bit harder, working a bit harder in defence, and the Dragons are just falling away a little bit, and they really need someone to really stand up and say they're going to be the bloke that's going to turn this match back in the Dragons' favour. But at the moment she's all the Roosters, and the Dragons really need to work hard.
And Leicester, the try scorer at 27 years of age. Sin binned in the first half. He's got 2 tries now. As we mentioned, he was a grand finalist with the Bulldogs the last time they qualified in first grade, 1998, against the Broncos, at what was then known as the Sydney Football Stadium.
If you keep putting yourself in a position like Gavin Leicester does, eventually the ball does fall in your arms, and as Chief mentioned, he's a good positional player. He's been around a long time, and I'm sure it'll be handy for the Roosters in first grade next year when they hit representative season.
Dawn successful with a kick. 24-8, apologies. Shero on the sideline with your special guest. It's all yours.
Yeah, grand final day, always a great day to acknowledge the end of great careers. And Darren Centre, West Tigers captain, retiring. You certainly had one. 13 years, 225-odd first-grade games. You've had a month to reflect. What's it like without football?
Look, football's been a great part of my life for so many years, and a day like today just always makes you rethink whether you made the right decision. But rugby league's been so good to me for so many years, and you know, I've appreciated what it has given me.
To wake up on the weekend with no aches and pains and no football to play has to be strange.
Yeah, well, that'll be the first thing I'll notice on a Monday morning, being able to get out of bed without any aches and pains, or not taking a couple of painkillers or Nurofen to you know, get rid of the aches and pains will be a big thing for me. But look, I think I've made the right decision, and I'm looking forward to our life after football.
Okay, mate, thank you. In a word, your tip?
I think the Bulldogs bench will be too strong for the Roosters.
Okay, mate, congratulations on a great career.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Darren. Back to you, Vossi.
Darren Centre, a player who started his first grade career with the Bulldogs. Then to the Balmain Tigers and on to the West Tigers. As Dawn kicks, looking for the corner. He's got it back there, but Greenshields has got it covered. Plenty of work for the Dragons to do. Down by 16 now. It was 8 points at half-time. 25 metres away from his own line. Soliola there with Paya. Dragons work forward with Henderson. Hennett there that time with Meredith. Very impressed with what Steve Meredith has done in this grand final today. And just a teenager. Could have played in the Jersey Flegg Grand Final. Perenara now. 5 short of halfway. He was tackled there by Laleapaya. There's not a great deal of adventure or enterprise to the Dragons' attack right at the moment. Holdsworth will kick on the last. And just the bomb from 45 metres out. There's a little bit of kick and hope about it. It's been put down by Leicester. Roosters are still in possession though with Soliola. 15 metres away from their line. Aidan Kirk, the fullback, hasn't had a whole lot of work to do so far. They got half a result out of that, with Leicester under pressure from Frew. There's still time for them. Only 16 minutes gone in the second half. Paya. There by Henderson and also Norrie. Roosters 38 metres from their line. They're going to kick early here. Ravelli. This is from inside the 40. They turn it around, but Greenshield's got there on the fall. From his own 20, Clint Greenshields tackled by Ravelli. Outside his 30. And this is Wade Humphries.
The Dragons are really bunching in attack too, so if they did want to move the ball, they haven't really got a lot to move it to at the moment, but I think if they can just hang in there, the Dragons, and maybe get a touch of luck, jag a try, then all of a sudden the game could turn a bit. But at the moment, she's really looking all the Roosters.
Henderson will play it 41 metres out from the line. Rooster supporters loving the day so far. Good pass there, back in for Greenshields. Play on's the call. Greenshields lost as he attempted to pass. There's some of the Roosters fans. They're all dressed up. They don't want to go anywhere. They're happy right where they are.
And once again, the Dragons, started to build to look like they're going to produce something, and then come up with an error opposed to maybe just put the ball in the end goal. And they really need to start to build some pressure so they can gain some momentum.
This Roosters team's got plenty of great athletes. The Player brothers in particular, they're sensational. But Tavita Metasela, I think every time he touches the ball, he does something quite special. And also in defence, there's another mistake there by the Roosters. Both these teams probably a little bit guilty of just not being able to build pressure at the right times, but certainly the Roosters getting away with that. Another kid there from the Roosters who's an unlikely looking bloke is Ben Hannett. He's the kid right now, number 11, with the blonde hair. Looks like a bit of a surfy, but I tell you what, he's a pretty tough kid. He's got a good future.
Yeah, Australian schoolboy just a few years ago out of the Palm Beach Currumbin High School up there. Talking about the surf. Not a bad beach. Here's the Dragons. On the bounce, Gorrell may have knocked it on. It's been held up, says referee Badger, so play on the Dragons. Corey Payne, little flick out the back. Frew will play it, he's pushed back. Hennon's involved again with Paya. Two of the Paya boys, Mickey and Lalea combining. Gorrell, along with Holdsworth, he sends Nguama through. Nguama tapped it forward and over the sideline. A break on grand final day at 24-8 to the Roosters. Afternoon will soon turn tonight. Before you know it, we'll be kicking off in first grade for the Bulldogs and the Roosters. Right now, though, almost a quarter through, 3/4 of the way through the match, and 24-8. Roosters over the Dragons. St George Illawarra side who finished as minor premiers. Halfway. Played by Webb and knocked on a dummy half. Play on the Dragons. Good scoop up there by Gorrell. Gorrell gets up to the 30. Good work by the Dragons hooker. Still will back themselves to get out of this hole. Holdsworth there for Scott. Scott is 20 metres from the line. Soliola in defence. Jensen is a dummy half, 19 away. Jensen. Holdsworth, first pass. Then for Henderson. Bumped away from Paya. Holdsworth. Gorrell, 15 from the line. It has been knocked down and not played at. So no restart of the count. Dragons ball 21 metres out. And a dummy half they go forward with Perenara. He's lost the ball. Kirk comes up with it. And Captain Kirk back to the 20.
Well, disappointing again there. Another opportunity, drop ball. But look, their body language says they're looking tired. They're not organised real well in attack. But Nathan Brown, you know these guys really well. If they can score one try, they can score three. They're still in this.
Yeah, they're still in at the moment, Chief, but at the moment the Roosters are looking a touch fitter than us at the moment. We're looking rather tired and, as you said, a bit disorganised, but we're still punching holes in them. But it's that forced pass rather than just build a bit of pressure, because if we can get one, we all know how we all get a head of steam up after you score one try, and all of a sudden there's 2 or 3 people in the picture, people moving. But we really need to score one soon. I don't think we can afford to wait too much longer.
Soliola to centre field, tackled there by Henderson. 24-8. 19 and a half remaining. Dawn, they run it with Tyrone Smith. He's lost the ball as he looked to pass. Play on is the call. Roosters in possession. Lapini Paya scooped it up. Last tackle the Roosters. The kick through. Greenshields has got it covered. He gets to it. And he is covered up in turn by Ravelli. Jensen does well to get back to dummy half. And Ravelli makes a double. 10 metres out from the line, the Dragons. They're doing it real tough. Henderson had it there with Lapini Paya in defence for the Roosters. They're looking tired. Gorrell work forward. The defence is equal. It was Metasella. Now with Andrew Frew, he's come in from the wing. Last tackle, 39 metres out from their own line. Holdsworth took a step over the 40. He may regret that. So he's got the kick to inside the 20. Kirk is across for the Roosters. And now Kirk cut down there by Holdsworth. A kicker. 10 metres from the line. It's the boy who brought his parents over from Perth to see him make his first grade debut this year. Daniel Holdsworth for the Dragons. Seems a long time ago, a Friday night at Parramatta Stadium. Soliola. Crossfield. Fronted there by Nguama. The Roosters are now 5 short of halfway. They're the team in the box seat, leading by 16. Henderson across field, beat Holdsworth, gets it to the 40. Tackled from behind by Corey Payne. Last tackle with the Roosters. They will drive it for the line. And they will find the line. Let's break on grand final day, 24-8. Roosters leading the Dragons.
If you will notice the comment asking you to evacuate the area you're in, please leave your seats and proceed in the direction indicated by Telstra Stadium staff. Securing is part of the law evacuation procedure. Telstra Stadium thanks you for your attention.
16 and a half minutes remaining in this Premier League Grand Final. And the Dragons have turned it over again. The Roosters are with the ball. 10 metres out, Tyrone Smith. Tackled from behind by Howell. Here is Byrne. They can take a giant step towards a second premiership on Grand Final day if they score here. Henderson is knocked on.
No. Tackle knocked it out, mate. He wasn't playing at the football. He was not playing at the football. Tackle knocked it out.
Nice defence by the Dragons there, because young Henderson was skipping across field, as the Roosters do really well. People push into space, and if the Roosters scored then, I think she was curtains for the Dragons. And if the Dragons can't get over the stripe soon, I think she's going to be curtains anyway. So we really need to come up with something very shortly.
One thing's for sure, the Dragons, no more mistakes in attack. They're just about handing it to the Roosters. Got to hang on to the ball, but at the same time, chance their hand. They've got to go for it in attack.
Jensen, he will play at 15 out. They need a big play. You think that it could be the fullback, Greenshields, who's going to be the one. Little streak downfield. Nguama showed us in the first half. He's got some skill.
Well, this is the one. They've got a penalty. They're in the grand final. They've got nothing left to lose. There's 15 minutes to go. Let's go for it now. They're in good field position. Let's see their halves get into action.
Dragons, Henderson, taken there by Hennett. $5,000 you can win tonight on our VB Man of the Match competition. Just correctly pick who the national selectors will vote for as tonight's Clive Churchill medal winner. And SMS text your answer to 188 9926. And we'll keep those lines open until 8:30 tonight. And announce the winner at the end of our broadcast. $5,000 thanks to VB, up for grabs. Gorrell, Henderson, 15 out. Roosters defence magnificent at the moment. It was Webb there. Still 15 away. Holdsworth up to the line and cut it down there by Hannon. Now 5 metres from the line. Gorrell will bomb from 10 metres out to the corner. The Guama flies high. Howe can't gather it in. Burners with the ball. Roosters back in possession.
Good positive for the Dragons, and that at least they had a couple of cracks, and they did get to a kick, and unfortunately the Dragons didn't go their way, but maybe it's the start of something.
14 and a half remaining. Roosters Jersey flag champions. And we have the Premier League trophy to back that up. Big ground mate here, Lalea
looking very tired, the Dragons around the middle, and the Roosters actually at the moment aren't looking too bad, so we need to really work hard or else we're going to be in a real lot of trouble.
Now Henderson to the right with Luke Dawn, his controlled kicking game. He got hammered again after kicking. This is Grand Final Day 2004, and 24-8 the Roosters over the Dragons. George Illawarra in possession here. 24-8 down though. They failed to come up with points in their second half. Scored their second try right on the stroke of half time to Wes Nguama. They haven't been able to find the try line since. This is Henderson. Down by the other Henderson, Ian Henderson. He's got through a lot of defensive work, the hooker for the Roosters. Now with Tony Jensen. 35 metres from the Roosters line. We believe the Roosters are not far off arriving at Telstra Stadium. There's a high ball here for Kirk. Kirk is with it. And tackled by Powell. And the dummy half goes Lester. Good run. 15 metres out from his own line, tackled by Jensen. This is live on Channel 9. The Roosters are arriving at Telstra Stadium as Soliola takes off. They tell me, someone tried to tell me that it was Gus the bus. Gus driving the bus. Here's Paya. 40 metres from the Roosters line. Webb away and a wide ball for Dawn. Back inside with Byrne. He was hit front on and still offloaded. Henderson kept alive for Dawn. Floats it over the top for Smith. Smith is 10 metres out. Great tackle, Howe. 5 metres from the line. Roosters looking for a match winner here. Henderson. Dawn steps back in field, tackled by three defenders, changeover.
Well, unfortunately, they're not to get a kick in, but they're looking good, the Roosters. And you talk about club culture. These guys, they're getting stronger as the game goes on. You look at the Jersey flag, behind for the first time all year. They hadn't been undefeated, but they came back. They've got that real toughness. And of course, Ricky Stewart likes to go through all through the club. It's right through them. And these guys here doing the same thing in the back end of this game. Their fitness is there, their strength is there, mental toughness, and they're looking good.
Couldn't argue with their chief. They've definitely got a great coach. You've probably got to give a rap, to Ricky Stewart, all their coaching staff, and the way their clubs run, because to get three sides in a grand final in any day is tough, but in today's market of a salary cap, and that it makes it even harder.
40-20, I think, here, boys. Gorrell got the kick to the line. And it will be a Dragon scrum feed. Gorrell got the 40-20 in. By the way, boys, you ever heard of a decoy bus? You have now. That was the decoy bus. The Roosters have thought of everything. Gorrell's kick from inside the 40. And then Byrne was desperate on the chase back. He dives, but he'd already put a foot over the sideline.
That's the way. That's the spirit. And good to see the Dragons run to the scrum for the first time this game. They got there quick. They're eager. They want to turn one on.
We may have a big story if it was the real bus. They've left the players behind. That's a bit of a blunder. So maybe it is Gus driving. Gorrell wrapping around with Nguama. Interesting scrum play, that one. Kirk up in defence. 12 metres from the Roosters line. Dragons still in the hunt. With it is Norrie. Only 3 metres out he will play it. Greenshields. Gorrell is there. And cut down in the tackle of George Rose. 9 from the line. St George Illawarra trailing by 16. 10 minutes remaining. Roosters will get a little nervous though if the Dragons score. Holdsworth's kick goes over the shoulder of Kirk and lost by Powell. Ryan Powell had the chance to get the try and just couldn't gather it in.
Well, he's had a good game. He's been pretty close to trial line a few times in the first half, chasing well there. There it is. Oh, it's in the fingertips.
Yeah, very unfortunate, Ryan Powell, because he's really worked his backside off out there today, and he leads by the front. He sets a great example for the other players, and that may have been that last bit of feint hope that we did have left.
Henderson, and back to the short side. Rose ready for another hit up. Around his legs, Beau Scott. Henderson. Now forward with Gavin Lester. He's played it tough. 10 in the sin bin first half. 2 tries as well. Soliola. We've seen enough of him today to think that he's going to be quite a prospect in first grade next year. Henderson to the right. Dawn had time to kick this time. It'll come down on the 10-metre line. Difficult bounce for Greenshields. It comes back the way of Daniel Holdsworth. And the Dragons are in possession. Well, it may have been a decoy bus for the Roosters, but we do know that the Bulldogs are here. And down in the dressing room, live pictures right now. Bit of treatment for the shoulder of Sonny Bill Williams.
Now, if you had to sculpt a rugby league player from start, that's how we would look. Look at him. He's focused. He's ready to go. He's a young bloke, but it seems to all come natural for him. He's ready.
That shoulder's become quite a weapon. It was on Joel Clinton last week and Paul Fatawira. And they put up a shot of Sonny Bill on the big screen here, and the Roosters fans, they jeered. The Bulldogs fans, they cheered. Play on the Dragons. Howell is with it. 25 metres out. It travels forward there. Payne with the ball. Still the call is play on. He's got to knock on to the Roosters out of all of this.
That was a great decision too, Bossy.
No, I'm going to call it a kick.
Plenty of drop ball here.
Worth a try, but
The Dragons really need to form this scrum and hurry because time is getting less and less. And it was a beautiful kick by Aaron Gorrell. He's made an impact since he's come back on now. A couple of clever kicks. So let's just hope we can get a little bit more, bit of early ball to Wes Nguama. Maybe can produce something like it in the first half, and then just hopefully come up with something, Chief, in this last sort of 7 or 8 minutes.
Something is the call from Nathan Brown, the Dragons' first grade coach.
Well, when they're on, the Dragons, they can score a couple back-to-back. We know that. And this is a big set of 6 for them. They're really going to work hard, chance their hand.
7.5 to go. Gorrell is out of the scrum now. Greenshields. Well tackled there by Tyrone Smith. 19 metres from the line. Nguama from dummy half. Puts a fend on Dawn. Got away from Dawn, not away from Smith. He will play it 10 metres out. 24 to 8. Gorrell. He's running the show now, Michael Henderson. Taken front on again by Ian Henderson. 10 from the line, Norrie. Another charge from the front rower. And then driven sideways at the end of the run. Gets up with a push on Mercer. Comes back infield, Holdsworth. Gorrell is trapped. He's looking for an opening. Flicks it out the back for Humphreys. Humphreys 9 metres out. And Ian Henderson yet another tackle.
Their line speed in defence, the Roosters seems to be getting stronger as they keep going. It's a real
9 from the line. Perinara, Nguama, knock on by the Dragons. And a last tackle play it was, and a changeover, Roosters with a ball.
Great defence by the Roosters again. The longer the game gets, the stronger their defensive line seems to be. The line speed, they're really getting off their line and really putting the halves under pressure. Gorrell, Russell and Holdsworth are under more pressure now than they were earlier in the game, and their fitness is definitely really telling here at the moment.
Well, Dragons be a little bit disappointed, but I tell you what, the 2 front rowers, young Michael Henderson and Brian Norrie, they're 2 outstanding players for the future, and I've got to say cornerstone for later on because they have been really top-notch today.
Yeah, they're talented young kids, and as you said, Chief, down the track, in particular next year, they're sort of going to come into like their 5 and 6, number 5 and 6 front rowers. So we've got big hope from him. Brian Norrie, to his credit, is actually playing the better the longer the game goes too. So it's a credit against these blokes.
And it offloading there for the Roosters, and it comes up for Aaron Mercer. A late run in this grand final. I believe he is signed with the West Tigers for next year. Roosters in possession, Webb. A metre inside the Dragons' half. 5.5 remaining. And it's with Ravelli. He decides a chip. Attacking play from the number 7 for the Roosters. Great work getting back there. The second rower, Perinara, kept alive for Greenshields. Dragons with it, but inside their own half. Henderson runs straight at Ian Henderson again. They are not related. This time the chip has come from Corey Payne. It's way too deep. Way too deep. And the Roosters are back in possession. And Mercer's away. 41 metres from the Dragons line. Soliola in a dummy half. Now with the ball is Leicester. You just think that may have been the last shot fired by the Dragons.
Yeah, I think the Roosters have pretty much propelled anything we've thrown at them this afternoon, and full credit to them. It's been a great performance by them, and the Dragons boys to their credit, we haven't stopped trying a bit, but unfortunately going to be one winner, and at the moment looks like it's definitely going to be the Roosters.
Paya got up quickly, David Howell with Nguama. That's tackle 4, 4.5 to go. It'll be mission accomplished on the second assignment for the day. They won the flag, the Roosters. They're about to win the Premier League. Not since the Dragons of 63 have we had a side win all 3 grades. Kick fielded. Oh, big shot on Greenshields from Leicester. Leicester's got a grand final hat-trick. He has put a big hit on Clint Greenshields, who is down for the count. He won't remember that, but Gavin Leicester certainly will.
He's a tough kid, Clint Greenshields too, so he's obviously copped a fair knock because he gets straight up when he can. And once again, it was the experience of Gavin Leicester being in the right spot at the right time.
3 tries to Gavin Leicester. Will break on Channel 9. Roosters, they've got it wrapped up in Premier League. Quick wrap up. Here at Telstra Stadium live on Channel 9. He's a sick and sorry boy at the moment. Clint Greenshields, brave in attempting the take, but then was hit with all the might and all the momentum of Gavin Leicester and his left shoulder. It's a big shot, and Leicester gets the ultimate reward. Gets the ball, gets a try. Bang, the hit. And then gathers it in and dives over. 3 tries for the part-time Carpenter. Big day for Gavin Leicester. And he is re-signed for next year. Here's the contrast. All smiles, Gavin Leicester. And Clint Greenshields, he's got a massive headache.
It's a sad way to finish year for young Clint Greenshields because he's been outstanding in reserve grade. He's probably been in the top handful of players in the whole of the competition in reserve grade. It's a bit of a disappointing way from the finish year, getting carried off in the grand final. But he's a tough kid, and I'm sure he'll bounce back next year and play some good football in first grade for the Dragons.
So Dawn with a kick with no pressure on him whatsoever. Big difference to what happened in Jersey Flegg. We went to extra time. This is going to prove a most convincing win. To take them to 30, Dawn adds another 2. This will be the Roosters' first title in this grade since 1986. And before that, I think you're going to go back all the way to 1949.
It'd be quite an achievement if the Roosters can now go on and win first grade, but I suppose from the Roosters' point of view, they'd definitely rather in first grade lose these 2. So I think the main one is for the Roosters definitely coming up, but it's a wonderful achievement by the club, and if they're to win all 3, it'll be a long time, I think, before we can see it happen again. It's a very, very big ask.
Holdsworth restarts for the Dragons. It'll be a sweet final 2 minutes here for the Roosters. Leading by 30 points to 8. It was 16-8 at half-time. So to keep the Dragons scoreless in this second 40, we'll be proud of that. There's been plenty of goal line defence as well. Henderson plays it short of the 40. And the dummy half goes Mercer. Back up to halfway. Ian Henderson with Ben Hannon. He makes another 10 metres. Tackled there by the lock forward Ryan Powell. This Roosters side coached by Ivan Cleary, who will join the coaching staff of the Warriors next year. Nice ball there from Byrne for Smith. Kicks it back infield. They needed a bounce there for Ravelli. He's got the ball now, scoops it up for Payer.
Yes, you know it.
Referee Badger says knock on.
Nice work there by Ryan Powell to get across in cover. We were just talking about him before as far as putting in a real big effort, and even though the game's way out of the Dragons' reach now, it's great to see the captain really leading from the front still and putting himself in the frame when he was needed to be there.
I don't think he touched it at all.
Sorry, correct me if I was wrong there, boss. It was actually young Wade Humphries.
Ravelli got the pass back and then Payer picked it up. The referee Badger had already ruled knock on. 30 points to 8. Final minute of the Premier League Grand Final. Real buzz here at Telstra Stadium. And we remember back to 1985 when the Dragons had all 3 grades in the Grand Finals. They won both the lower grades and lost the first grade. Remember who they lost to in 85?
The Bulldogs, 7-6.
The Bulldogs it was. It's a statistician's dream days like this one.
I think we were robbed that day too, Bossy, weren't we?
They were robbed, according to Nathan Brown. Naguama will play it, short of halfway. Another hit up here for Henderson. Countdown on here from the fans. He's lost the ball. Hannett comes up with it. Here's title number 2. It's proving to be a very big day for the Sydney Roosters. They won Jersey Flag 14-13. You can add Premier League to that. Another trophy for the cabinet back at Bondi. 30 points to 8. The Roosters over the St George Illawarra Dragons. On Channel 9 Grand Final Day, is it to be the destiny of Brad Fittler to walk away tonight a winner?
It has already been a very successful afternoon for the Sydney Roosters, taking out both lower grade games. The Jersey Flag and Golden Point, 13 points to 14. And in Premier League, a comfortable victory over St George Illawarra, 30 points to 8. There you can see the successful players, their coach Ivan Cleary. St George Illawarra were the minor premiers in that grade, so a wonderful effort by the Premier League from the Roosters. And of course, in an hour and a half, or just over an hour and a half, they have a chance for the clean sweep as the Roosters take on the Canterbury Bulldogs in first grade in our NRL decider this year. Welcome back to the Telstra Stadium. Grand final day of the Telstra Premiership. And wonderful scenes here for the Roosters club. A great effort to get all 3 grades into the grand finals. And they will be hoping that the first grade can do the right thing just after 7 o'clock